Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Danielle, aka Stitcherista, here on YouTube, and today is Wednesday, April 27th. So, I first want to, if you hear me coughing or I have to take a drink, you're just going to have to live with it because I have a mild cold. So, to backtrack, I debated whether to do a video today, but I was like, I got to do one, right? So, the retreat, Sunday morning. Now, mind you, Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, between those 3 days, I probably only got, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I probably only got 5 hours of sleep each night. So by the time Sunday came around, I left at 6:45 a.m. I was in my car. I got home like 9:05 a.m. I was beyond exhausted. I hadn't been that tired in I don't know how long. And I had some things to do for work that were due on Monday. And then I sat down, I had a cup of coffee, I had something to eat. So then I felt a little bit better. But, you know, I was going to, because we were off on Monday, I was going to just say, you know, fuck it. I'm going to unpack my stitching bag, unpack my suitcase on Monday. That's not me. That's not how I am. So later on, I would say a good hour or so after I sat downstairs and just rested for a little bit, I did all that. Unpacked the bag, did all that. And by the time I got back downstairs at like 2 o'clock, I took a nap from like 2 to 5. And thank God I did. And then I was in bed by like 9. But yeah, still run down. So I was starting to feel awful. Like Sunday. No, it was Monday. I woke up Monday and was coughing in the middle of the night and had like scratchy throat, sore throat, stuffy nose. And I'm like, fuck, motherfucker, right? So I immediately took a COVID test because we have some here at the house. That was negative. So I'm like, well, you know, everything's not COVID, right? I thought, well, I was thinking it could be allergies because the pollen is just insane. But no. So I felt pretty awful on Monday. Was glad we were off. Woke up Tuesday. Now, we were supposed to have a job on Tuesday. Woke up Tuesday and felt like death. Like, felt really awful. And I thought, there's no way I can do a video. I even texted my dad at like 7:15 and said, please don't call me because I'm trying to like talk as little as possible. You know, those are the times where I'm thankful that I don't have to put on work clothes, office clothes, that I don't have to talk at my job, you know. So, because I will work if I'm sick, unless I am like having the flu and having to lay down or something, like I'm in my bed, you know. I've worked plenty of times sick. So yesterday for work, this just is so like, oh my God. We're all waiting at 11 a.m. The job was supposed to start at 11 a.m. Now, time is going by. It's like 11:05, 11:10. And I don't really think anything of it because a lot of times there's technological things going on. Zoom, this was a remote job, so it was by Zoom. And I thought, that's what it is. Well, it gets to be like 11:30 and I'm like, that seems to be like too much time, right? Well, my boss types in the file, because we were all in the file waiting to start. She says, I guess it canceled and the office didn't tell me. I'm like, oh, that's nice. She's like, well, so just charge me $75 for today. Because when that happens, you know, we've allotted our time for the job. And she also gets paid a per diem when there's a cancellation like that. So I tell everybody, okay, we're done, blah, blah, blah. I'll let you know when tomorrow confirms. So my boss calls me and says, oh, I have this new free program that I want to show you guys. Can I show you right now? I'm like, yeah, I'm still in front of my computer. So while she sets up a Zoom for her and I, while we are on the Zoom, I hear her say, oh my God. She's like, oh my God, the job was in Pacific time. What? That means the job was starting. I was on the phone with her at 12:15. The job was starting at 1 o'clock p.m. my time. I said, oh my God. I said, I feel like shit to my boss. I'm like, I feel like crap. I said, I was actually glad that the job wound up canceling. And she was like, I don't want to do it either now. She's like, I got stuff to do now. So she tried to get out of it. She tried to tell the office, like, look, I let my team go. I'm not here right now, blah, 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 blah. And she said, well, the office replied and said that there is nobody else available. So she's like, well, let me do this. Because I was like, I can try to get the team back. I mean, it had only been like 45 minutes. So she said, no, don't do that. She said, I'll just take the job and then maybe you can hand it off to somebody. Okay, that's whatever you want to do. Because she wanted to edit, do some briefs and something. Okay, fine. I'm like, well, let me know. You know, if the job happens, let me know. And so we hang up from the Zoom, and then she texts me and she's like, Jesus Christ, the office just messaged me and said the witness is having a medical emergency that they don't know if it's going to go forward. We're waiting for confirmation. I was like, good night. So hopefully I don't wish medical ill will on anyone, but fingers crossed that the job just doesn't go forward, right? So I looked at our portal later on and I saw that she moved it like into a different column. So it didn't go forward. So that was good, right? And then later on in the day too, today canceled. So we didn't have a job today, which again, I wasn't upset about because I'm still not feeling well. I'm like, well, our job tomorrow confirmed because I can see from where I'm sitting that just confirmed. But it's not starting until 1 p.m. my time, so I'll at least have the morning. But yeah, so, and then July is going to be a busy month. Like everyone's taking off in July. I have 4 days off for the Flosstube retreat. Another team member is taking 5 days off. Another team member is taking like time off. So I'm trying to like book the coverage right now, like please to like our backup people, please block off this week because blah blah blah. So I will bring my laptop to the Flosstube retreat. I have no problem doing that. Now Bill and I decided next year is his 50th birthday. We were going to do a party at Medieval Times because he said he wants a party, and I was just like, oh, I'm not a party person. I'm not a party planner. I don't fucking like doing none of that stuff, but I would do it for him. But when I told him what it was going to cost for like 22 people, no. He said, I'd rather take a cruise. So we started looking, and there actually is a cruise the week of his birthday. So I sent an email out to my boss and to the whole team. I'm like, I know this is crazy letting you guys know a year in advance, but because I'm literally going to be off an entire work week. So my boss writes back and she's like, well, my 50th is next year as well. And she said, I'm actually going to be taking off 2 weeks. And she said, it's either going to be in May or in the fall. And she's like, it's a shame that we couldn't like coincide it. Because it would have been great to have off a week when she has the week off. Because then I wouldn't have to worry about no work, no nothing, no bull crap when I come back. And, you know, because being off for like, even when I go to the New Jersey retreat, being off Thursday, Friday, Monday gives me anxiety. Because I feel like I'm going to come home and it's all going to be like a bonfire. Like it's all going to be like fucking burnt to the ground because what I do isn't going to be done. Do you know what I mean? But my boss handled it all before I was there working. So it is what it is. And I said, everyone deserves time off. I shouldn't have anxiety about it. And I'm not taking a fucking laptop on a cruise. That's not happening. So when I talked to Bill and told him, he says, well, maybe we can coincide it. He said, maybe we can tie it into your birthday too, because my birthday's in May. He said, see if she has the week in May, we'll do it then. I was like, oh my God, let me email her. So I emailed her really quick and I saw that she had read it, but we need to know in like a month because we like to book ours in advance because then you can get a better price usually. So fingers crossed. Now, what would be awesome, and I told Bill this and he was laughing, I said, it would be great if we could take our cruise like the first week she's off, and then when we come back, I have another week off, right? Yeah, that would be ideal. Because coming home from a cruise, being gone for essentially 7 days, mail, laundry, all that stuff, you know. And now I'm really smart. When we go on a cruise, this is going to be a long video just to warn you. When we go on a cruise, I take airborne every day the week before because we have gotten sick twice when we've come back from a cruise. And I just don't want to do it. So yeah, fingers crossed that that works out, because that would be really great if that worked out. So little updates from the retreat. So remember I said when I got my box back of the boxes I had made, there were 5 in there. Well, what I didn't know, when I didn't find out until the next day, 3 people weren't in the room. So technically 2 people didn't take a box. Still, what the fuck, right? So at least, because Lacey knew I was really upset about that. And so there were 2 people that didn't take one. Okay. All right. So that was a little bit better than 5. I fully expected to get that cardboard box back empty. Yeah. And then I have another Margot story. So Margot she is such a nice person, and she is probably one of the, I don't want to say prolific stitchers, but she is the most knowledgeable person I know in our inner circle about stitching. She literally knows everything, I think. And the way the seating was, let me try to lay it out for you. Let me show this as an example. So Debbie, Lacey, me across, and then there was a walkway that was enough for one person to fit, like the width of one person. And then there was Nancy, Brooke, and Margot across from them. So Margot and I were like, I could look and see her right there. Now, everyone's got shit, right? Everyone's got stuff. I brought as little as possible. You saw what I brought. Margot brings a lot of stuff. Now, you have room under your table, too. So this was after dinner on Saturday. We all come back. We're sitting down. We're trying to get acclimated back into our stitching. And I hear Margot say to herself, Margot, calm down. And I look, and she looks like she's freaking out, right? And I said, Margot, are you all right? Can I help you with something? Because, you know, I know your family is there for you, but I have to say, this core group of people that we have at that retreat, that we also go to the stitching posts for stitch nights and things like that, I feel like if I called one of them or messaged them and said, hey, I need your help, they would be there. They would be there with no question. That's how I really feel about them. So Margot says, yeah, I can't find my car keys. And we're all like, oh my God, because one time at that retreat, Margot had left her car door open and her car running all night. Stuff like that. I mean, she's had some incidents with cars. The one time we were driving back from Starbucks, she had driven me to Starbucks and we rode over a median, and I was like, literally thought we were going to have a car accident. I mean, yeah, we've had some incidents, or she's had some incidents. So Lacey says, Margot, why don't we walk out to your car? Do you think they're in there? So they walk outside. They're out there for a really long time. And meanwhile, me, Nancy, and Brooke are in there, and I'm like, you know, I don't want to go over there and go through Margot's stuff because it's not appropriate, right? Looking for her keys. So they come in, no keys. Well, Margot looks like she's about to cry. Like, she really is upset, thinking that she's going to have to call her brother, who lives, 3 hours away, to drive down here to bring her keys. So Lacey comes over, starts helping Margot look through her stuff, and they find the keys. Now, the keys, she had them attached to like this, and the ball was like this big, one of those big fur balls. And I'm trying to think to myself, how did you miss that? But anyway, so in the midst of all that, so Margot calms down. She sits down, and Nancy's like, can we get you some water? Take a breath. It's all right. You found them. And I'm like, Margot, we got you, right? Even though we tease her and everything about all the stuff that she does, when it comes down to it, we have each other's back, right? So we're sitting there, and I see Nancy literally do this. And I looked at her and caught her eye, and she didn't say it out loud, but she mouthed the words, I lost my phone. And I'm like, what the fuck is happening here tonight, right? Like, what is happening? So then she tells Brooke. Now, Brooke and Nancy are mother and daughter. Nancy's the mother, Brooke's the daughter. Brooke says, I'll call your phone. Now, this is where I'm just like, OM motherfucking G, right? Brooke calls the phone, and it starts ringing, and I'm like, Margot, it sounds like it's coming from your coat pocket, because Margot's jacket was on the back of her chair. Margot looks in her pocket. She had Nancy's phone, and she had her own phone, because in the hubbub of looking for the car keys, Margot was looking on the table, and she just grabs the phone thinking it's hers. We were dead. We were just dead. I was just like, oh my God, can we get through the rest of the weekend without, you know. There is always a story. Always a story at these retreats. There is no telling what can happen. So, that is what happened. So then, our job for today canceled. I didn't do any stitching on Sunday. Went right to bed. Didn't do any stitching on Monday because I felt like ass. Like, felt awful. And then I did do stitching last night. So yesterday, you know, Dayquil helps. Bill was stopping at the store for dinner, so he picked me up Dayquil, some cough drops. And I had actually ordered, he got me some orange juice because that always makes me feel better, extra vitamin C. So I drank a bunch of orange juice yesterday. But I like taking Airborne. Now, I will advise you, if you're going to take it, don't get the gummies, because you don't need to take Airborne every day. I usually will take, and see, I didn't do it this time. I usually take Airborne before I go to a retreat because it gets that extra vitamin C into my system, right? I like the chewable tablets because the gummies will fucking dry up like bricks, and then they're done. You're done. So I had found some Airborne yesterday in there, but they were the gummies and they were hard as rocks. So I threw them in the trash. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to order the tablets. And I also saw we were out of Tylenol and Advil. I always like to have that stuff in the house. So I placed an order from Amazon. They were here today. So you take 4 Airborne a day. So I'm going to take that until I feel better. Like I said, this cold is mild. I have had colds where I had a cold last August that lasted for like 2 weeks. Yeah, felt awful. So did that. And then, so at the retreat, they ask everyone to bring stuff and put it on the tables in the back so we can all snack and eat and whatever. I actually did bring Smart Food popcorn and some of the mini fudge stripe cookies. There were these cookies there, and I had to get them. The grocery store actually had them. It is these Wafer rolls, lemon. They do look like this. They're very light cookies. Like if you don't want something heavy, I ate one of these and almost died. I was like, OMG. So I hurried up and searched on my phone. They're so good. I don't like a lot of lemon stuff, but this, because I was telling them about that lemon tart at Woodlawn. That's the best dessert I've ever had in my entire life. Yeah. Let me show you again. Because they have different flavors. They had like chocolate or hazelnut or whatever. These were at Giant, so they're at the regular grocery store. So good. The lemon is so like light and chef's kiss, seriously, if you want like a light cookie. And So 4 wafers is 150 calories. That's actually not that bad because I only ate 2 when we were there. Well, I could have eaten more, but I'm like, let me walk away. So, showed you that. Okay, so I was watching Liz Matthews. Hello from Liz Matthews. Love her. First of all, she lives in Maryland, so she lives in my state. I was watching her Flosstube, and she was talking about a Merry Christmas freebie that is on her website. And I'm absolutely going to stitch this at some point. And I'm going to show you because it's a free one. So here is see, that's stitched on the bottom. Isn't that so cool? I love that border so much. I really am just obsessed with the perforated paper. So I think I'm going to stitch it on paper. Now, remember I forget what video it was, I had joked about, I need a bigger journal. I need a bigger book. Marianne, can you make me one? Now, Marianne and I have the same taste in books, same taste in a lot of stuff. Our lives parallel one another a lot. She made me the one book that's like the monthly themed, where Bill and I put the grommets and the ribbon. And she is actually making me a Monopoly themed book because, and I don't think I said about this on my channel, because I have the Monopoly chart. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Remember, I bought the Monopoly chart from Arlene. No, I can't find it. It's right. Oh, here it is. Okay. Remember, I bought the Monopoly chart from Arlene. Now, it'd be awesome if I stitched like the whole thing, right? Like the Monopoly game board. However, would I really do that? I don't think so. Now, if you look on the back, you can see people have stitched pieces of it, right? Free parking, da 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 da. She was like, I was like, wouldn't it be cool to stitch these individually on perforated paper and do each page and eventually you would have the whole board, right? So that's what my plan is. She's making the Monopoly themed, and I can't wait to see it because boy, is that going to be something. So she's doing that. And mind you, she did the first book for me as a gift. She's doing the Monopoly one as a gift. And so she messages me yesterday and says, well, what size do you want your bigger book? And what theme? I'm like, I said, well, I was thinking like 8 by 10, 9 by 10, because I'm limited, you know, with a book that's 6 by 8. And I said, you know, the theme I was thinking was like the seasons, but with holidays in there, like winter, spring, summer, fall, but interspersed in there, New Year's, Valentine's Day, Easter, 4th of July, because I stitch for all that stuff. And she was like, yeah, no problem. She's going to make it. Now, she said, you know, this is my way of giving back to you for the channel. She said, because she's not a patron. She doesn't buy me coffee. She hasn't joined anything. This is her way. And she loves doing it. Like, she's really, really good at it. So she's going to send both books at the same time. I can't wait to get these books because we're going to do a flip through page by page. It's going to be magnificent. I know they are. I mean, that monthly one is so beautiful and detailed. I can't even fathom what these are going to look like. And Three Birds Lane on Etsy, I've commissioned her I asked her if she would do me a Halloween book from a little golden book, you know, like the ones I have. She messaged me just the other day and she's like, don't think I forgot about you. She goes, I'm just having trouble finding Halloween stuff that I want to use. I'm like, no problem. There's no rush because I don't start stitching Halloween stuff until like September anyway, if we're being honest. So lots of exciting things coming down the pike. Yeah. All right. So there is that. And then, okay, so perforated paper, the great bulk of it comes in 14 count. The ones from Mill Hill are 14 count. Someone emailed me or they commented on my channel and said, you know, 123 Stitch has 18 count perforated paper. They do? I've never seen that there. So I went and looked last night and they do. It's white. Now I have Design Master makes a tinted spray that you can spray paper, because I've sprayed paper before. And I know there are different ways of coloring paper. I'm even considering maybe using fabric spray, color spray, something. Because then I could just make it whatever color I want if I didn't want to use white. So I bought a bunch from 123 Stitch because I was like, let's go 18 count. Number one, I can use one strand. Number two, I'll be able to stitch things that will be able to fit into the book. Yeah, very excited about that. I just love working with the paper. And I've said it a billion times. I love working with perforated paper. Okay. Stitching. Well, let's first talk about what I bought. So I checked the mail today before I came on here with you guys. And I got my order from Top Knot Stitcher, Abby. This is one that I keep saying I'm going to stitch a piece for my office door, and I have yet to do it. I really want to do it. So this is by Little Robin Designs, and it says, when it's called Peaceful Kingdom. When the queen is happy, there is peace in the kingdom. Yes, please. So I would love to stitch that in some kind of cool variegation and do the crown in like gold. Please, right? Got to stitch that. And then I also got by Thread Milk for the Bowl series. This is Halloween. Just a bunch of littler designs. I love the boo that's really big. And then I got some more Quirky Quakers from Darling and Whimsy. I got the butterfly because, right. I got the snail. And then I got the bee. Now, I have to stitch this one. Like when I do, the first one I do with one of these is probably going to be this one. Michelle Bendy Stitchy. It did this on pink fabric. It looked so fantastic. She put it in her junk journal. Absolutely loved it. Loved it so much. So that was all that I bought. But stitching wise, so let me put something behind there. Oh, I can use this, the pattern. Remember, I'm still working on Heart and Hands Coffee Bird. And I'm enjoying it very much. This is what it's supposed to look like. Now I'm stitching mine on Pink Frost Perforated Paper. So I got done the banner, and then I got done a coffee bean. Now, you can see yesterday I played around with it because I'm going to leave this washi tape on. Yeah. Now what happens, washi tape wants to peel up, right? And where it wants to peel up is at the edges where it meets. So I decided to take these. These are actually used for diamond painting. They're actually like special gems. I have a shit ton of those. So I just glued them on the corners, and they're like kind of pink. I think it looks kind of cool. Yeah, look how pink they are. It's coming along so good though, isn't it? Loving it. And so I was thinking ahead. So I knew kind of what I wanted to do for the journal page for this. So I decided to go ahead and do it. Oh, first off, let me show you. I completed my journal page for the hummingbird sampler. So there it is. Didn't it turn out so cute? I put little gems from my diamond painting stuff on the corners. Little sticker. And then on this side, I did the journaling page where I just, and what did I say? Yeah, I didn't really journal too much about it. I just said completed at the Spring Tangles retreat. But there's that. I thought it turned out so good. And let me tell you, I love using my sticker maker versus the glue stick. Because the sticker maker, it really sticks. It really sticks down. So I'm like, all right, now it's time to think ahead for my coffee page. And here's what I did. So the coffee design is going to go on this page. I covered the page that was in the book with this piece of scrapbook paper because that's going to go there. Isn't that going to look good? Mm-hmm. It's going to look good. Now I will back this with like light pink paper. So, but that's going to look so good there. And then I already journaled. So I just put a sticker here that says, first I drink the coffee, then I do the things. I also had covered this with scrapbook paper. This is my scrapbook paper. But then I just journaled the design, you know, the design details, and didn't do my handwriting on this one, did printed. And then on the other side, put 2 more stickers, and again, covered this with my scrapbook paper and did 2 more stickers. I think that's going to look so cute. So then I was thinking ahead. Now, you know, I got in trouble before with thinking ahead and doing a page before I did the stitching, but I'm confident what my next 2 projects are going to be. So I went ahead and did the pages. So my next one, and I absolutely love so much using this that I got from Carrie of Tiger Lily Designs for my projects because it holds the perforated paper really well. So my next one after the coffee bird is going to be, where is it? Is going to be this tweet from Just Another Button Company. But remember, I'm going to stitch mine on lavender perforated paper. And what's cool, and I didn't do this on purpose, I just did it and it worked out. The kit comes with all the buttons, but it doesn't come with that pin up there. So I bought these pins from Salty Yarns, and look, it has the pin in it. It's like the exact pin. I didn't even know that. So yeah, I'm going to do that one. So I'm thinking along the lines of, you know, Easter. And I had Easter paper already. So I'm going to put the design. I covered this page with this scrapbook paper. Isn't that such cute scrapbook paper? So I'm going to put the design on there because when I do it, it's going to pretty much cover it. I'll probably use washi tape on that. I need to find Easter washi tape. But then on this side, again, I covered this. I used this scrapbook paper. And then I journaled and I used my handwriting. So I said, you know, pick my own DMC colors because I did 14 count lavender perforated paper. I put May 2022 because I know it's probably going to be next month, even because like next Friday, or no, Monday, Monday I think is the 1st. Saturday the 1st. May is like this month. Jesus, Danielle. May is this week, like the end of this week. So, yeah. And then my next piece, you can already see the page next to it. My next piece is going to be after the tweet is Heart and Hands Round Red Sampler. And I'm going to do it on perforated paper and I'm going to cut it in a circle. That's the joy of doing the paper, is that you can cut it into shapes. So I'm going to stitch it on the Pink Frost perforated paper. And this cherry is a needle minder that I made. This is felt. I bought these felt things. I forget where I bought them, but I made it into a needle minder. And I'm going to stitch it with DMC Color Variations 4200, which is like this beautiful red pinky. Yeah. So I was looking yesterday for the paper, like the background paper and stuff. And so the very next page in line, it's going to go on here. Isn't that going to look good? Yeah. I really love that paper. And then on the other side, I did that. So I put that paper down, these 2 stickers, and I already journaled it and said, you know, Heart and Hand, Red Round Sampler, blah, blah, blah. Now, I did journal a little bit of my thoughts because, okay, Cindy, who is a subscriber, wonderful human being, she goes to the Tangles retreats and she actually bought that Red Round Sampler. And see, when we do our ta-das and stuff like that, we pass around our patterns so everyone can see them. And when she got her patterns back, that one was missing. So we think that, you know, it's a small pattern. I mean, look at the size of it. So we think it slipped in somebody's stuff. but she never found it. She never got it back. And I had messaged her. So we were all looking on Saturday. But I texted her. She had texted me on Sunday or Monday and said, it was really good to see you, all that. And I said, did you ever find your pattern? And she's like, no, I just went back to Salty Yarns and bought it again. Luckily, it was a small one and it wasn't too expensive. How much was this? Oh, it's not going to say on the back anyway. And I was like, dang it, I wish I have it. I would have gave it to you after I was done stitching it, but she went back and bought it again. But I wrote that down in the book. So like 40 years from now, when I'm looking at that book and be like, oh yeah, I remember the time that Cindy lost the pattern and she didn't get it back and blah, blah, blah. But everyone loved the book at the retreat. So I think going forward, my ta-da will be that book. Because by the time I go back in September, I'm going to have a lot more pages done in there. So I'll just be able to take it back and be like, okay, I finished 10 more pages in the book. And especially the piece that I finished stitching there, I can really show them. So, and that's easy to pack in my bag. So yeah, that's what's going on with the stitching and all of that. And I just realized I do have another purchase. I belong to Fiberlicious Fabric of the Month. I get 18 count Ada. And this month's is Queen Crepe Myrtle. It's beautiful. Look at the purple. It's like purpley with some brown. It's very gorgeous. And then I had purchased, so Stoney Creek Magazine doesn't do a subscription anymore, which is unfortunate because I subscribe to it. Absolutely love the magazine. So every couple of months I'll go on there and buy one. Well, I bought 3 this time. I bought this says volume 34, number 2. I bought an old Christmas one, volume 29, number 4. And then I bought volume 34, number 1. Now, I have looked through all of these and there's nothing in there I want to stitch. So I decided I'm going to give these away to you guys, and I'm going to do 3 separate ones. Usually, you know, I'll just do one and one person wins it. But no, there's going to be 3 winners. So what I will have in the description box of this video is 3 different links to 3 different Google Forms. Yes, I know that seems like a pain in the ass, but it is much easier for me to go to each one and pick a winner than to have, not everybody might want all 3 of these. So if you want all 3 of these, you're going to have to fill out your information in all 3 Google Forms, just to let you know. So I will pick somebody next week. But yeah, their magazines are pretty awesome. I just didn't see anything in any of them this time. Okay, I do have a couple OMG moments. So this one by Robin Hobbs. She did this as a Christmas present for her daughter. She stitched the fucking Scrabble board. I can't with this. This is full coverage. The whole thing is stitched. I cannot. Can you? Can you even right now? I mean, the time that must have taken. Wowza. Love seeing stuff like that. Pretty amazing. Just so very cool. I would like not even want to play on that. And then this is a paint by numbers. This is by Anya Zelinska. It's gorgeous. And what it must have taken to get those skin tones like that, because you know that there were probably 50 colors in the skin tone alone. It's stunning though, isn't it? So gorgeous. And then I have one more. This is by Nora Adams White. This is her finished Snow White, a Bianca, now this is a Mirabilia, a Bianca Bella conversion created by Deanna Maximo. So, oh, I'm sorry, I've been talking for so long. This is the most I've talked in like 3 days. This person stitched hers 1/2 on 40 count, so essentially 20 count. It's stunning. It is, I don't even know what to say. I mean, look at that. 20 count. Gorgina. Gorgeous. Oh my God. Yeah. Stunning, stunning, stunning. And she said it's more sparkly in real life. Well, yeah, because you know there's sparkle in all the memorabilia stuff. Just gorgeous. Okay, so I do have a tiny little thing to read to you. And it made me think because of, this can be applied to any craft, right? So this is on a page called Writing About Writing. There's so many pages on Facebook that have stuff like this. So Kurt Vonnegut wrote, when I was 15, I spent a month working on an archaeological dig. I was talking to one of the archaeologists one day during our lunch break, and he asked those kinds of getting to know you questions that you ask young people. Do you play sports? What's your favorite subject? And I told him, no, I don't play any sports. I do theater. I'm in choir. I play the violin and piano. I used to take art classes. And he went, wow, that's amazing. And I said, oh no, but I'm not good at any of them. And he said something then that I will never forget, and which absolutely blew my mind because no one had ever said anything like it to me before. I don't think being good at things is the point of doing them. I think you've got all these wonderful experiences with different skills, and that all teaches you things and makes you an interesting person no matter how well you do them. And Kurt Vonnegut said that honestly changed my life because I went from a failure, someone who hadn't been talented enough at anything to excel, to someone who did things because I enjoyed them. I had been raised in such an achievement-oriented environment, so inundated with the myth of talent, that I thought it was only worth doing things if you could win at them. And that's brilliant because I think we live still in that era of achievement. Got to get it done. Like, you know, Lacey is always teased at the retreats because she stitches so much and finishes so much above what most people finish that she's almost revered. You know what I mean? And you know, she's like, this is not a competition. She's even said that many times. And I'll say, I compete with myself, really. I celebrate her finishes, but it's not like I feel bad about myself because I haven't finished 50 things. No, that's not how that works. But wasn't that awesome? I really, really like that. And something else funny that happened at the retreat, I forgot to tell you. So Saturday night, we got back from dinner, and Bill sends me a text message and says, it's a picture of himself, and he says, in case you forgot what I look like. I showed Lacey, and she was dying laughing. So we took a selfie with her and I and sent it to him. And he just was dying without me here because he just is so used to me being here and having me, you know, at night and stuff like that, that he's just lost. So when I go to New Jersey for 5 days, I don't know what he's going to do. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, coming home Monday. Yeah. So, but yeah, so I know we missed a couple entries in this and I read them and tore them off. So not a big deal. But how are we going to continue to unfuck ourselves in 2022? That was a good tear. That was a medium tear, I would say. Can you see the ways in which you'll sabotage yourself? Rather than saying what you'll not do when that arises, it's important for you to say what you will do, i.e. some new action you will take to interrupt the drift of your automatic. Okay, yeah, I mean, we're all creatures of habit. So, you know, all you can do is take it one day at a time, 1 hour at a time, 1 minute at a time. So I hope you enjoyed this longer video because I didn't do one yesterday because there was no way. I could hardly talk yesterday. I hope you guys are all having a good week and having a good Wednesday. As always, if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments section below and I will answer them to the best of my ability. Thank you so much for watching and subscribing and spending almost 45 minutes of your day with me today. And I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.